the house in the cerulean sea in space. Hello, and welcome to Will's Infinite Library. I'm Will, and this is my infinite library. I actually rearranged my infinite library since my last video, subtly. Like you might notice some things have shifted around. I've been meaning to do it for a while and kind of reorganize things, and so I did. I wanted to make a video to update you on my book haul from last time. I'll leave a link to that video here. But I took a quick look at each of those books, and a lot of them were a very like academic feeling, which is exciting and interesting to me, but not kind of like what I wanted to read fresh off of vacation and like in that vacation reads mindset where I was looking for something a little lighter, more fun, quicker to read, something fun to just read while sitting outside. That brings me to the book that I did read recently, which was The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. And this book I've heard about for a long time, was curious to read, and I really enjoyed it overall. And I have some thoughts that I want to share with you because it got me thinking about a lot of things as I was reading it. The book was really a breath of fresh air because it kind of got me back into sci-fi, which a genre I've always enjoyed, but sometimes I just don't get into it as much as other times. It sometimes can feel a bit distanced or abstract and can get caught up in plot and ideas more than characters. But this book was really character driven, and I really liked that. And it reminded me that that's kind of my home in genre fiction, or where I really enjoy it most, is when it's really character driven more than plot driven. And I kind of started realizing this when I read White Trash Warlock. That book really kind of opened up my eyes to a genre in terms of urban fantasy and fantasy in general that I hadn't read since really I was much younger, like a teen. I had been really into fantasy, but then I'd kind of dropped off of it. And I think that's because it was so plot driven a lot of the time. But that book kind of really re energized my excitement for fantasy. And this book did that for sci fi. And it kind of really cemented that idea that, like, yes, this is what I come to this genre for. This book is criticized often for not having a plot. And I can see that because plot isn't the focus, but it does have a plot. It moves forward. And kind of because of that, I honestly don't know if it would have been traditionally published had it not been, it was self-published and then did really well and then picked up by a traditional publisher. And that's where it is, why you see it everywhere today. But I don't know if a traditional publisher would have taken a chance on it, particularly as I think it's her first novel. Particularly as a first novel from a new writer, this type of book that is different than the norm of the genre. And I'm glad that this happened and that I get to read it. And like I said, it's not really plot driven, but it is kind of like almost a series of vignettes of interactions between characters. Like you'll see this character combo and then this character will talk to someone else, and like over the course of the novel they all kind of interact with each other, and it jumps between characters and their point of view as well, and it kind of can make it feel a bit disjointed, but it worked for me. The weird thing though, I'll say, is that it feels kind of like it's often skipping the meat to get to the next little vignette between characters. Like it focuses on that. So anyway, let me back up and talk a little bit more about the plot itself and the characters. So it takes place on this ship called the Wayfarer, which is a ship that basically like punches wormholes in space to get other ships from place to place. And the crew of the ship is the real like meat of the book itself. So let me check my list here. There's Ashby, who's the captain. There is Rosemary, who's the new clerk on the ship, and it opens with her. And I thought she was going to be the main character, but she really isn't, I realized as it goes on. It's just that it opens with her, and she's kind of her joining the ship is kind of the impetus for everything starting. Then there's Sissix, the pilot. There's Kizzy, the mech tech, which is like a mechanical technician who works on who does maintenance on like machines and hardware. And then there is Jinx, who is the software tech, who works with the AI mostly in other software systems. There's Ohan, that's the navigator, and Ohan is a cool kind of alien species. There's a lot of intricate stuff going on there that I won't spoil, but there are a lot of really cool, unique alien species, and the way that that works and the navigating is really cool. And then there's Dr. Chef, which is possibly the least creative name. Dr. Chef is a chef and a doctor, and called Dr. Chef because they are a chef and a doctor. And then there's Lovey for short, or Loveless, the ship's AI, who is a character all in herself, and a really cool character, and a lot of really cool stuff happens with her as well. But I wanted to get back to the setup too. So it opens with Rosemary as the new clerk joining the ship, and then her meeting everyone. So you get to meet everyone along with her, which is a great setup for getting to know this big crew. And like it opens and kind of threw me off because it starts with her, like the first paragraph is about her, how she's on the ship. She bribed the government to get her a new ID and a new identity, and was kind of like, you get the sense that she's like a criminal or escaping from something, you don't know what. And so in my head I'm like, okay, this is the beginning of the book, this is setting up what the whole thing's going to be about, this kind of like her identity and whatever she's running from. But then that really goes into the background, and you only get like a glimpse of it like towards the middle of the book. Long story short, a little bit of a spoiler here. If you don't want to hear, skip ahead. Her secret identity, or her previous identity, comes to light. She talks to one of the crew members about it and talks about how she's really scared for the captain to find out, because she'll get kicked off, she'll lose her job, she'll lose everything that she worked and spent all of her money to get this new identity. She'll lose all of that. So she's really scared. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be a big like kind of climax of the novel, is her confronting the captain, or the captain confronting her, maybe kicking her off. Something big's going to happen. And then like the next scene just goes into her hanging out with another character, and there's like one throwaway line that's like, the captain took it okay, like not the best but not the worst, and then the story just keeps going. And so like this big dramatic thing is just kind of like, we got to get back to the vibes. And so that was kind of strange and unexpected, but again, it didn't bother me. It just was unexpected. And again, something that like I doubt, if it was a traditionally published book to start, she would have gotten away with. Like an editor would have been like, you need to like write that scene because that's a pivotal moment. But here we are, and that's that. And yeah, so like I said, it's not really plot focused, but there is a plot that moves it forward, which is The Long Journey to a Small Angry Planet, the title. That is kind of the main plot. The ship takes on a new job to go to the center of the galaxy, and this is like a big job, like it's next level from the work that they normally do. So everyone's excited, it's a big job, but because it's so far away and they're making this connection into the center of the galaxy where there isn't a wormhole yet, it takes them a really long time to get there. And the whole book is basically them flying to the center of the galaxy and just all the things that happen on the way, which is a lot of quiet moments on the ship, which makes perfect sense. And this is why I really liked the book and what it did, because it was so quiet and character focused. It spends a lot of time thinking about relationships between people and aliens and the sci-fi concepts, like, and it presents them in really cool ways. There's a lot of really cool technology, different cool species and ways that interact that are almost sometimes satirical and make you look back on humanity and how we've gotten to where we are and how these other races have. So it really lets those pieces shine, which are my favorite things about sci-fi. So while it's not a traditional novel and probably isn't for everyone, I really enjoyed that because it let me spend time with the characters, and then the characters shared this cool universe with me. So they took me on this adventure in space, which is exactly what I want in sci-fi, is just to like hang out in space with cool aliens and like learn stuff about the universe and see where technology can take us and what's out there. Oh, and then the other thing I wanted to say is that it definitely has queer vibes, but there aren't a lot of necessarily queer characters. So there's very much like this found family vibe that really makes it feel queer. There's one same-sex couple in the main cast, but there are a lot of like non-traditional relationships, like between people and aliens and people and AI and things like that that are very kind of queer coded. And the other really cool thing too is that the author herself is queer, and she has lived in different countries, speaks different languages, I believe, and her experiences really shine through as she writes these kind of relationships that aren't understood by everyone, and as she writes characters struggling to communicate with others speaking other languages. Those felt really real, especially from me just coming from Brazil. When I had read this, I mean, like, yep, that checks out. That's what it's like to not know what's going on, or to try to be communicating in a language other than your first language, or one you're even fluent in. So I really liked that part of it as well. And then that like found family piece really felt to me like the house in the cerulean sea. And I've been like describing this to people as I talk about the book as the house in the cerulean sea in space, because that's to me essentially what this book came down to in the end. A lot of quirky, cool characters in this found family. Good vibes, good vibes. Yeah, and that's pretty much it on this book. I really enjoyed it. There are a few more books in the series that I would really like to read at some point, but I don't feel, again, because it's not really plot heavy, that I need to like find out what happens next and read the next one right away. I think I'll take a break, and whenever I'm in the mood for these like chill space vibes again, I'll pick up the next one. I was also just scoping it out, and I think they might not even be like chronological. Like they might be like almost spin-offs in the same universe. Like it seems like it's not even following the Wayfarer and its crew. I'm not sure what to expect from those. I'll probably pick them up maybe next summer, or maybe like over the holidays this winter when it's chilly inside or chilly outside and I want to stay warm inside and read a cozy book. So I'll save them for that. But thank you again so much for watching. I'd love to hear what you've been reading lately. If you've discovered any good new books, let me know down in the comments below what you've been reading. And if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. And I will catch you again soon. See you next time.